I'm speaking quickly on the subject, the iniquity of sin. Our objective is to understand the iniquity of sin. And our second objective is to know what to do about the iniquity of sin. The scripture makes it clear that sin goes beyond offending God with our actions. Many times, we think that sin stops by offending God with actions. There is the iniquity in the sin. Sin is the primary offense, while the iniquity of sin is the secondary effects. The iniquity of sin refers to the collateral damages and ravages of sin, particularly its effect on others. I will take one example. So there is the iniquity of sin, there is the primary offense and the secondary effects. Let's take David, for example. In every of the services, we shall take an example of one person and then the effects of their actions. 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 2 all the way to verse 5. He said, "And it came to pass in an eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Elam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her. And she came in unto him, and he lay with her. For she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. And the woman conceived, and sent and told David, and said, I am with child. And David sent to Joab, saying, Send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent to David, and so forth and so on. I'll talk about that later. Now, the primary sin was the sin of lust, the immorality that David wanted. That was basically what he wanted. But the other things David saw were not things he planned for. Am I communicating? The effects that followed, it was not in his budget. That is called the iniquity of the sin. The ravages, the damages. Number one, the woman got pregnant. He wasn't planning for pregnancy. All that he was looking for was maybe what they might call fun time. He wasn't planning for pregnancy. And then he asked the husband to go home from the battlefield so that he can go and have relationship with his wife and camouflage it so that nobody knows who owns the pregnancy. The man said, No, I am in battle. I can't go home. Long story made short, I'm sure you know the story. David walked with Joab, the commander of the army, and sent Uriah the Hittite to the forefront. That was 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 15. Let's look at that. And sent him to the forefront. And he wrote in a letter saying, Set ye Uriah the Hittite to the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire from him, that he may be smitten and die. Wow. Number one, a woman got pregnant for him. Number two, he is committing murder that he did not plan for. All he wanted was to sleep with a woman. Now the woman is pregnant. Now the woman's husband must be killed. And it hasn't stopped yet. Thirdly, when the woman's husband was killed and the woman finished money for her husband, David sent and married the woman. That was not part of the plan. 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 26 to 27. It wasn't part of the plan. And when the wife of Uriah the Hittite heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the mourning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house. And she became his wife and bare him a son. But the thing that he had done displeased the Lord. All he wanted was immorality. Now he got a pregnancy. Now he got somebody killed. Now he married a woman he wasn't planning for. It's called the ravages and the damages of sin. And then from there, God sent the prophet to him, Nathan. In 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 14, he said to him, how be it, David, by this your deed, you have given great occasion to the enemies of God to blaspheme. The child also that is born unto you shall surely die. Are you seeing consequences? First of all, woman is pregnant. Secondly, David kills a person, the man after God's heart. He killed a person. Thirdly, he has to marry Bathsheba. Fourthly, he said God's name is being reproached by your action. That is the empowerment of the enemies of God. And the empowerment of the enemies of God. He said you have empowered God's enemies because you represent God to your generation. By this your action. He said, David, it is possible that you can hinder somebody from coming to God by what you have done. You see, there are many of us in the offices and places where we work that certain actions might stop people from going to church because of you. And finally, consequence number 5, generational calamity. There are things that people do today and they wonder tomorrow how their seed is not able to survive and succeed. Look at what he told him in 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 9 to 12. Wherefore thou hast despised the commandment of the Lord, to do evil in his sight. Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword. You have taken his wife to be your wife. You have slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore, the sword shall never depart from your house. That is called the iniquity, the ravages, the damages. He said, because you have despised me and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house. And I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor. And he shall lie with your wives in the sight of the sun. For you did it secretly, but I'll do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. Can I ask you a question? When David started, did he plan for this? All right. See the ravages and see the damages. His action implicated his children, implicated his next generation. What do you call her? Amnon loved Tamar and sent for Tamar and raped Tamar. And Absalom heard that his sister has been raped. And Absalom went and killed Amnon. The sword has started. The seed, the harvest has started. The flow has started. The ravages have started. And Absalom ran away from home. And Absalom returned back home. And the father received him. And then suddenly Absalom rises up against his father. And then Absalom laid the mat on the rooftop and slept with 10 of his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel, according to prophecy. God had forgiven David, but the ravages continue. The damages continue. For example, When the thief, carries somebody's bag, all he wanted to do was to steal. He had no other plan. Maybe he's planning to take money from the bag. But inside that bag was an international passport that has an American visa or a UK visa. Inside that bag was a phone with very important contacts. Inside that bag was an important document, crucial document, that this person needed to apply for work and be admitted by the next day. And the thief takes the bag. First of all, what are the iniquity? The sin of the thief is the stealing of the bag. But the iniquity of the sin is the pain and the hurt that the bag owner feels. How many of you know the pain of loss? You have ever lost anything before? It doesn't matter whether that thing was important or not. There is the pain that you lost something. The sin of it was the stealing of the bag. The iniquity of it was the pain caused the owner of the bag. The iniquity of it was the pain and the hurt of trying to get another American visa, trying to get another British visa, trying to get another thing. And then the iniquity of it further is the pain of the loss of opportunity, because the document he needed to get job the next day was inside the bag. God said to the thief, I would deal with you for stealing, and I would deal with you for the pain you caused. Some of us think that it just ended with just, I stole something. No. He said, what you stole caused some effects. It caused some pains. It caused some ravages. You see, I believe that an understanding of a thing like this will help humanity how to behave. Somebody, another example, lady stands up to try to take somebody's husband. First of all, when they were getting married, maybe 30 years ago, 25 years ago, where were you in the equation? When they labored and built themselves for 20, 25, 30 years and grew themselves, where were you? Suddenly, you appear and you love a man whose wife maybe doesn't love him, if you think so. You are better for the man than his wife. Listen to this. And then you step into the house to divide the house. There is the pain, the joy that was in the home. The strange woman steps there to ruin that joy. She stepped in to deny the woman the joy of her husband, making that woman to live perpetually in tears. At times turning that woman into a shadow of herself, because I have seen many women who are victims of strange women. Most of the time there is that loss of confidence, that inferiority complex. Is it that I am not good enough? What did I do wrong? And then you put such a pain. The self-esteem is gone. Then you hijack. A lady was calling a woman from the hotel. He said he carried the husband's phone and was calling the wife with her husband's phone. And she picks the phone and said, it's not your husband, I am the one. I want to let you know that he is with me. And until you beg me, I will not release her. Release him. Those are the Jezebelitan Delilahs of this generation. They can go to any extent. Now, the children are deprived of their father's love, his presence, and they are denied the opportunity of having a marital model. They don't have a model marriage anymore.